Hi there. Have you ever looked for words that would make a difference in your life? That's something that I sometimes do because quotes have created a profound impact in my life. And today I wanted to share some words with you that have really inspired me, shaped me, and helped transform my perspective. So I hope you'll stay tuned. Hi, this is Tammy Coyne, your holistic alchemist, helping you change pain into possibilities and possibilities into purpose. I share content on this channel around the holistic healing journey and personal development. I upload content twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then on Saturday, I do the Holistic Pathway podcast where I have unscripted conversations with other entrepreneurs about mind, body, spirit, and entrepreneurship. So I'd like to invite you to subscribe to the channel and join me here as I do my best to deliver things that may either empower, motivate, inspire, or even transform your life. A little bit about my history, if this is the first time you're watching. I have a severe history of childhood trauma, abuse, and loss. Had complex post-traumatic stress, have gotten to the other side of that. I am now a holistic practitioner and with a lot of modalities helping people actually move out of pain into possibilities and then on into their purpose, oftentimes, which is becoming an entrepreneur and making a big difference in the world based on the stories of your life. So let's talk a little bit about these four quotes and how they sort of came into my awareness and how things sort of changed over time. So there are lots of quotes that have really impacted me at different times. But when I think about the ones that I always bring back to mind, it is these four. Out of all the quotes in the world, these four are the ones that really, really have touched my heart. So, number one is success is to be measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life as by the obstacles which he has overcome. This is Booker T. Washington. Now, this quote used to sort of be my battle cry. I had it typed and taped, on my desk when I worked for someone else, and I referred to it often because for me, that helped me see that no matter what was happening in my life, no matter how little money I had coming in, no matter what kind of challenges I was going through at the time, I knew that I was successful because of the amount of obstacles that I had overcome in my life. And to me, that was something to hold on to. I knew that my life had been nothing but obstacles. So clearly, even if it wasn't showing up in my bank account, even if it wasn't showing up in my societal status, I had to know that I was successful based on everything that I had overcome. Later, that changed, and I no longer used that quote as my battle cry. And the reason that changed is because at one point I realized I am sick of overcoming obstacles, like done with overcoming obstacles. So maybe if I am always feeling so good about being successful because of the obstacles I've overcome, maybe it's time for me to redefine success. And maybe success means more to me than overcoming obstacles. Now, that doesn't mean the obstacles stop coming in my life. However, I stopped attaching success to the obstacles and recognized that I was needing a new definition of success in my life to get me to the next level of where I wanted to go. So I'm interested to know, what you think about that. What do you think about that quote? What do you think about that shift I made? And does that make sense for you? Do you have any words in your life that might require redefining? I'll give you an idea that I also redefined the word fun. So, another story for another time. Quote number 2: an abnormal reaction to an abnormal situation is normal behavior. Whew, this one gets to me, and it is by Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl is a survivor of the Holocaust. And when I read this quote for the first time, I knew that people who had survived some severe things in their life, the way that you learn to respond is not the way someone else would respond. And there's a reason for that. It's because it's not a normal situation. It is an abnormal situation. And the way that you needed to respond to survive became normal. So my example for that is, if you've ever heard of someone being in an abusive relationship and not able to leave, and someone says, well, I would have ... Well, you don't know what you would have done because you weren't in the situation. So that's the thing. People who are living normal, whatever that means these days, I don't know if anyone's living normal anymore, but let's say someone is living normal. They can't fathom what someone is going through inside an abusive relationship, inside a traumatic existence behind closed doors, inside a war zone, inside a prison, inside a any kind of situation to where it's extreme. So you can't possibly know what you would do unless you're in the situation. That's why this quote is so perfect. Because the way that a person learns to adapt in a situation may create maladaptive behavior. It may not be behavior that you want to continue after the situation, but it was what was necessary to survive in a situation. Now, I no longer live in those environments anymore. And I no longer am faced with those kinds of things in my daily life. That is a blessing. And yet, there are still storms that come. There are still abnormal things that happen. All of us went through some really weird, abnormal shit just a few years ago, right? And everyone handled that differently. So, and it became their new normal, right? So this is a powerful quote that has shown up time and time again in my life. How does that one impact you? Quote number 3: you are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. This is from Max Ehrman, and this quote comes out of something called the Desiderata. And I thought about doing that on the channel today, sharing that, and then I opted to do the quotes. I tell you what, I'm going to come back when I finish with the last quote here, and I'm going to do the Desiderata. I think it's so valuable. I used to read this every single morning. It was when I began to learn to meditate. And meditation was really challenging for me in the beginning. It was difficult for me to sit still. It was difficult for me to clear my mind. And I needed something that I could use in a meditative way that would help me get to the other side. And I used the Desiderata, which is where this quote came from. And I sat with that quote so often that I had a right to be here. So many of us feel like we don't have a right to be here, or we don't have a right to take up space, or who are we to do this or that. And recognizing your own divinity, recognizing that you are a divine being, helps you to recognize that you also are valuable. You also have a right to be here and take up space. It's so important to understand that. Number 4, this is the one that I am using actively today with myself and with clients, and I can apply this to just about any circumstance. The quote is, "There comes a point where we need to stop just pulling people out of the river. We need to go upstream and find out why they're falling in." This is from Bishop Desmond Tutu. So let's say you have a person who has a particular obstacle, whatever, it could be any obstacle. They have a particular obstacle that they cannot get past. So you want to look at, where do they start falling in the river? And what that means to me is where they start to go off track. So there's a critical period of time where the person will go along, go along, go along. They're doing fine, they're doing fine, they're doing fine. And then, oop, that's the part that causes them to get stuck. It could be different for everyone. Let's see some examples. I have a friend that I met, who's an entrepreneur that I met in a business, in a coaching group. And she was terrified of doing live stream videos. So the first thing would be to think that she is afraid to be on camera. And that would be the assumption. And when we got into a discussion, I realized she wasn't afraid to be on camera. She recorded videos all the time, no problem. Well, where is she falling in the river? So it's not being on camera. There was no problem with confidence. There was no problem being camera shy. There was no fear of being on camera. So where did she get stuck? So the more we talked, and she would say, I just don't, I don't even know what it is. I don't even know what it is. The more that we talked, I recognized that where she was getting stuck, where she was falling in the river, was when she was going live on video versus being recorded on video. So what's the difference? The difference is when you go live, one, there's no edit, right? There's no edit. There's no safety net. And some people have a really strong fear of the unknown, like what is going to happen when I press the button. I don't know what's going to happen, because when you go live, you go live with different software, you go live with different, you'll see different things on your screen. So what we did is we got into a Facebook group together, just she and I, that I created, and I had her be the viewer, and I went live in the group and I told her exactly what I was seeing on my screen. Then she could ask questions and I could share with her what I was seeing from going live from that perspective. She could ask questions. Then we swapped. She went live, and I was there to watch her and help her. And we did this for, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes. And after that, she was off to the races, and she had no problem doing live videos. So that's what I'm thinking. If it was always like, say, pulling her out, saying, oh, it's okay, you don't have to do a live video, you can just record, or you can do this or this. But what we did was we looked a step further and said, I wonder what's causing her to fall in the river. And we were able to help her. Another example could be anything. Let's say a person is struggling with, drinking, as an example. So it's not about the fact that they're already drinking. What you want to do is get to the point of when they fall in the river. Let's say maybe they've been sober for a bit and they fall off the wagon. What caused it? And to really get into the mindset or the environment or the people or whatever was going on with them that would flip that switch for them. My ex-husband had severe challenges with alcohol, and what we determined was that anticipation was something that really caused him trouble. So being waiting for something, being kind of, whether it was excited or nervous, it was that anticipation that would cause him to fall off. So that's an important, really, really important quote. So I'm curious. Let me go ahead and summarize these quotes a little bit. Number one, success is to be measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life as by the obstacles which he has overcome. Booker T. Washington. Two, an abnormal reaction to an abnormal situation is normal behavior. Viktor Frankl. Three, you are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. Max Ehrman. And number four, there comes a point where we need to stop pulling people out of the river. We need to go upstream and find out why they're falling in the first place. Bishop Desmond Tutu. Now, let me get for you, I promised I would share this amazing Desiderata. So let me share this for you. Here we go. Go placidly amid the noise and the haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even to the dull and the ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexatious to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain or bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself, especially do not feign affection, neither be cynical about love. For in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune, but do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be, and whatever your labors and aspirations in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace in your soul with all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams. It is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful, strive to be happy. And that is from Max Ehrman from 1927. This is a powerful, powerful piece of work that brings tears to my eyes even now. So these things, these 4 quotes, plus that little bonus there, I really want to invite you to take the time to think about these quotes. And if it's not these, maybe you've got another one that you can pull back from time to time to help you move forward. And yeah, so I invite you to like and subscribe to this channel. And also I invite you to schedule a holistic consultation, free, it's totally free. We spend some time together, hear about what you've got going on, maybe where you're stuck, maybe what are your obstacles, or what are your big dreams. Let's figure out how to get you from pain to possibility and possibility to purpose. This is Tammy Coyne, your holistic alchemist, helping you change pain into possibilities and possibilities into purpose. See you next time. Bye-bye.